You are about to enter a world rarely discussed at dinner tables, yet quietly present at life's most pivotal moments. A world where a single signature can unlock a fortune, or freeze it in time. A world where trust is currency, and hesitation can cost thousands. Tonight's journey does not take place in a distant galaxy, nor in a haunted mansion, but in conference rooms, hospital corridors, kitchen tables at 8:47 p.m., where opportunity knocks, and sometimes no one answers. You're about to meet the unseen guardians of agreements, the silent witnesses to power of attorney, real estate empires, last wills, and new beginnings. But beware, in this dimension, the difference between thriving and merely surviving is not talent, not luck, but infrastructure. Because somewhere between the missed call, the delayed follow-up, and the unreturned voicemail, revenue vanishes. And in its place, regret. Tonight, we explore the thin line between chaos and control, between the overwhelmed notary and the architect of precision. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of stamps and seals, but of systems and strategy. A journey into a land where every call matters, every minute counts, and automation whispers in the shadows. You've just crossed over into the Notary Inside Show.
Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is. Look at that, Mr. Automation. He got, yo, what kind of glasses are those, bro?
This is the Sabrina glasses, the Notary Insight glasses.
I need a pair.
No handcuffs, and we got glasses, man. That's how we do it, baby.
Oh, man, I would be in the nightclub like, what? Shout out to them glasses, man. You heard?
Yeah. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, bro. So you had an interesting week. You knocked out what, 4 appointments in a day without even leaving your house? Talk about that a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about some of these perceptions, these misconceptions and these skewed perceptions of the notary industry, because I see a lot of people who just hustle themselves, grind themselves just to dust.
Yeah.
And the reality is I had to face this reality, and I had to tell myself that I'm self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a business owner. Most notaries.
Okay, wait. What's the difference, though?
Self-employed means tech, I do everything. I answer the phone calls. I execute the appointments, the signings. I print the papers. I send out the emails. I process the payments. If I physically don't do it, then there's nothing that's going to actually do it. So I go out, get my own clients. I print out the flyers and the business cards. I had a notary send me a business card the other day. Like, this is a flyer right here. The notary, she had the whole package. She sent me a whole piece of paper and everything. She did this though. Then she handed this to me, put this in my hand. What I'm saying is a business, that's self-employed.
Uh-huh.
A business owner is just a person who's just operating the systems. A business owner is a person who controls the flow of traffic. I'm just directing traffic and telling people or telling systems what to do and what not to do. So I had to come to the conclusion that if I want to be a business owner, I can't do everything. So these 4 assignments, I'm basically sitting at home in front of my laptop, and I got my bodyguard here with me, and there's appointments that are coming through.
Yeah,
because I invest in Google Ads. I attract the lead. I close the call and I delegate the job. So I got an appointment going through right now, it's a repeat appointment because the person, their phone, the voicemail was, their inbox was full. So the notary standing outside their building trying to get inside the building, and they can't get in contact with them. They give us the wrong phone number.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's just me just delegating traffic.
Yeah.
Work out and but I'm able to do, if I do one, then I'm free myself up to do more. And then if I do that one, then I free myself up to do more. I couldn't do that if I was the person standing outside the building, knocking on the door, trying to buzz in the gate.
That's right. That we call that owner dependency. When your business relies so heavily on the owner, and if the owner, for some reason, is unavailable, the business comes to a complete halt. That is not a place you want to be in.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. And now I understand what you mean, a business owner versus, in basically an independent contractor.
Well, being self-employed is one thing.
Yeah, self-employed.
You can be proud of that. Now, here's the thing, because we know from the Notary Cash Flow Quadrant, you can do all four. You can do the self-employed notary. You can be the signing agent. That means you get appointments from signing services. Self-employed means you go out and get the appointments yourself. You can be the business owner, where you're attracting leads and you're delegating out the work, and to be the notary entrepreneur, in which you are producing products that is specifically for notaries. So you can do all four, but you need to recognize which quadrant you're operating out of.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking maybe we could start off with pass or trash, and then we go into our main topic of today, which is the $10,000 notary trap. Are you up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, the pass or trash is such a valuable segment because it really gives you an in-depth look on the websites that actually get paid up front versus the websites that get delayed payments, the wording that they use, the way everything is structured for the customer to behave on that website. So I hope you guys really enjoy these pass or trash, because these are like hidden gems. We're doing random audits on random, notary websites, and it gives you a chance to look at your website and be like, you know what? He got a good point there. I don't have that. Let me see if I can make a small tweak. And in this business tech, one of the things I love about this business is that the smallest tweak can bring in a waterfall of cash flow. A waterfall, bro.
I hope people believe you when you say that.
No, because think about it. If I give or you give just a tweak on how you can increase your pricing, can they or can they not implement that same day?
That's absolutely true. Answering the phone is an example of that. Yep. Or not just answering the phone, but what to say once the phone is answered, once you pick it up. Because everybody loves to say answer the phone, but they don't tell you what to say. They don't tell you, how not to lose the caller and what words to leave out and how you should approach the call. They don't say that part. They just say, "Oh yeah, answer the phone." Well, anybody can say that.
Hey, we got a comment. Hey, this is my ain't this a notary world? Landing big deals with Disney over here. You know what I mean? She says, "Hey guys, I'm just leaving the Secretary of State building. I have something to listen to while driving." Hey. Shout out to you.
Thanks for your support.
Absolutely. Yeah, let me run your intro real quick, bro. Let me run your intro.
Okay.
On that, because we about to cook.
Time to cook up something special. Up next, Pass or Trash website review with Tech Amaku.
So go ahead, bro. Okay, where do you want to pick? All right, let's pick a place that we have a notarization going on today. Let's choose Washington on this one.
Wow. All right. Well, Pass the Trash. Welcome to Pass the Trash, everybody. This is where we take a hard look at notary websites, and we decide if they're built to either convert clients or if they're built to just take up space online. And I think you'll find some great value as to what we decide. We don't do this to disparage anybody or humiliate anybody. We do this purely as a way for our viewers, so you guys don't just do random stuff. You know, your website needs to make sense. It either makes the cut, either passes, or we give it the MySpace effect and we just put it in the trash and we dump it. But here's the thing, though: we don't leave you hanging. We show you how to fix it.
Indeed.
Yeah. So let's go with you say you want to go with Washington, huh?
All right. Let's check out Washington, man. Let's see. Right. Let's see what's popping in Washington.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna say notary in mobile notary in Washington. No, mobile notary in. Let's pick a city. Don't just say Washington. Let's say Seattle. How about Seattle?
Okay, yeah, that's a busy spot right there.
Notary in Seattle. All right. So typically we'll just take the first one. The first one is a sponsored result. That means that they're running ads. We typically don't go with the sponsored one, and we only do that because we know by clicking on that person's link, we're costing them money, and we're not a real lead. We're just people looking at the website. Now, last week we had the same problem, and we didn't give a fuck. We just clicked it.
We should. You know what? Here's the thing, though, Tech. I think it's good that we pick sponsored ads, though. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
If you're spending money, that means your lead capture system better be on point because you're actually spending money. Now, the person that's not, investing dollars and they're running strictly on Google algorithm and AI algorithm, that's different. You know what I mean? They can afford to slack a little bit. But a person that's actually spending money on ads, come on, you got to be on point with your shit, though.
All right, you heard it. I can evolve on topics. I'm open to hearing convincing, persuasive arguments, and that to me was the persuasive. So you're right. The person who nobody know with that circle it. If they're running sponsor ads, yeah, you're right. They should have a lead capture system that's functional. And it should be robust, and it should be working. So you're right. Yeah. So let's have a look at it. All right, let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna click on. So I like the fact, number one, right off the top, they've got the site links underneath that. So I'm hoping this guy is promising. We got a picture here. Right off the top, we always recommend that you don't run this as a single person operation, and this already is giving a single person operation. But we're looking at this from a very critical eye. But we're looking at two things. Can you book an appointment? And is the site functional? Meaning the buttons work, pictures are loading, and it's giving me confidence to go ahead and proceed. That's all we're looking for. All right, let's go ahead and click on. All right, first impressions. We got a phone number right up top. We got a book now button, and we got a email. So I like it so far. I'll tell you that. We got this little chat box here in the lower hand corner that always stands out. People think that that's new and latest and stuff. To me, again, my objective, think about it, is behave like a customer will behave. A customer may want something time sensitive, urgent. And matter of fact, everything is time sensitive and everything is urgent until they say otherwise. But the chat bot is, to me, is overused or is an unnecessary add-on in the notary specific industry. But let's go ahead and proceed. I'm gonna do a quick view overlook of the website itself. But essentially, what we're looking for is the phone number up top and the book now button, and he's already passed that, so that's good. What are your thoughts?
Well, I do like the live chats. The reason why I like the live chats is because I understand that there are people that are at work and they still need to take care of some things. They can't be on the phone because they'll alert, whoever manager, some snitch, in the cubicle across from them. So they got, they want to keep things private, but they want to be efficient as possible. So I kind of do like live chats because I can, especially AI live chats, because you get the response very quickly. I'm not a fan of the live chats where a person is responding because it takes forever. AI live chats that have been trained correctly, they respond immediately. So I love AI live chats.
Okay. Yeah.
So
The chat bot that says, give us your message and then we'll reply when
I
we
hate
have
those.
a moment.
Absolutely hate those. Yeah, that okay, so the website is looking good so far. It's a little bit busy.
Busy. Yes.
But I do like that they have the BBB accredited. That's good. You do become a slave to BBB if that's what you're doing too. So be aware of that, because if you get one bad complaint from BBB, that thing rides
Yeah.
for as long as you're using their platform. So I don't like to be a slave to any platform. The phone number is visible. It's ready to book now. It's looking good. I'm liking it.
Okay. You got a whole list, a navigation bar of all kinds of services, and you got testimonials and whatnot. But let's just do a quick overview of the website. We're not going to click the book now button yet. So we got it's a lot going on. What do we notarize? This is all like related to SEO. Whether it works or not is debatable. But nevertheless, his paid advertising is what got us here. It wasn't organic search. So, that kind of, I'll leave that up to you guys. It says, and so much more, we can notarize it when others won't. Booking the appointment, traveling notarization. They also do remote online. Yeah, this website was probably built by Wix or something 5 years ago. It's not a very.
It looks dated.
Yeah, it looked dated. It's not an appealing looking website, and it's probably not mobile responsive. Actually, I'm on a laptop now, but I guarantee if I pull it some on the website, it would be difficult to read it. Or I'm on a mobile phone, it'd probably be difficult to read it. All right, so anything else you stand out to you, pop out?
Off the rip, bro. If you're running ads, the less clickable things you have on that page is better. This page is just way too busy.
Yes.
For a clickable ad. So I would probably, because you're spending money on the ad, for me, when I did the ads and, you could talk about how you did your ads, Tech, I would hyper micro focus on maybe one item like a power of attorney. And on that power of attorney, it would have, once you click it, it would take you to a landing page where it has all the information you need about a power of attorney, what you need to look out for, what you should have available before you even make the call, right? But here's the thing. You can't click away from that page. That's the big thing. You cannot click and go to what's the FAQs, about us, services, testimonials, apostille, contact, you power of attorney, will, because now you're diluting the ad placement. And people, I'm telling you about human conditioning right now. You give people too many options, they either do three things. They either go with one decision, don't make a decision, or just completely disregard everything that's going on.
They do nothing.
Nothing. This website right here, because the ad is actually attached to it, you're confusing the person at this point. There's just too much going on. That's my
Absolutely.
opinion.
No, absolutely 100%. It's distracting. Right? Is you want the and this is like what we're sharing with you. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but this is incredible insight, advanced. This is like advanced. There's levels to this. What we shared, what you just shared is really a typical everyday run-of-the-mill notary can't go toe-to-toe with you with the information you just shared. Like, that's incredible insight because number one, of everything you just mentioned, and I'm gonna take a little step deeper. I'm gonna go another step deeper. You can't even decide how effective your ad was because of how distracting this website looks. So you can't measure how the ad is performing, therefore you're wasting money. I can't directly connect or correlate one action that led to another action because I don't know what this person did after they got to this website. When you have a single targeted landing page where there's only one option, like you said, there's only one focus, power of attorney, like the example you use, then I know that particular ad or that search key term that I typed in, mobile notary in Seattle, led to my ad appearing, and then the person clicked on the ad, and then they landed on this landing page, and then they booked an appointment. I can draw all those things together and conclude rationally, not emotionally. I can conclude with data, hard facts, that step led to profit or it produced income. And you can repeat that and you can scale that. So what you just shared is incredible insight, and it might be a little bit too advanced for some of our users, but I don't think so. I think they needed to hear what you just shared.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. Can you tell just by looking at, well, let me ask the audience this. Can you tell what their primary focus is by looking at this page right now? I could tell off the rip what their micro niche is. Can you tell what their micro niche is, Tech?
Looks like apostles.
100%. Now, because their micro niche is apostille, that's what I would make the landing page for.
Absolutely.
I would tailor my ads around apostille. Because you don't have to have one ad set. You can have a power of attorney ad set. Now you know that you're getting X amount of traffic, like you said, is coming to the power of attorney. X amount of traffic is coming over to the apostille. This is kind of, it's just a lot going on. And because they put apostille at the navigation bar, tells me everything I really need to know about this company. That's what they specialize in.
Yeah. That's probably where they think their most money is.
Right. And also in the hello banner, it says Washington Apostille Services. So it's clearly that's what they specialize in. That's what they do. But moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, so let's go. Yeah, we can go on and on and on about some of these websites. And ladies and gentlemen, if you leave a comment below, if you want us to look at your particular website, we're happy to do it and give you some insight as to what's working and what's not working.
Oh,
so
shout out to Jessie. Shout out to Jessie. She said hello, y'all.
Okay, Jessie in the building.
Jessie is in the building.
Jesse's a big stepping out there.
Hit out and I step a murderer.
Big stepper, yeah. Hopefully she can join up on the stage one day.
Oh no, she definitely coming on the show. We're putting together a segment just for her, bro.
Yeah, You guys want to hear some fire? You guys want to get some sauce? You guys don't want no drama? Bring her up and yeah. Don't let me just stop there. All right. So I clicked book an appointment. First thing I noticed that we jumped to a different website.
Really?
Yep. So this is Setmore. This is just like another version of Calendly, Acuity, Woo Calendar.
Okay.
All these different type of platforms. So we got two options here. We have remote online notarization. We have mobile notary appointment. We got some reviews. Looks clean. So again, we're judging to see if we can book an appointment. That's what we're trying to do. So I click on notary appointment, and we got some times. We got some dates. I'm gonna pick 3 o'clock. We got full name, email address, zip code, comment, signer's name. And we got a booking policy down here. I'm gonna run Tiger. I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it.
It's not booked for taking payments.
No, well, number one, that's definitely that's not what I was gonna say, but you're absolutely right there. It's not. Yeah, it's all it. There's a like a little notice policy that here that says $100 non-refundable travel fees required for all mobile notary appointments and is due at the booking. So that's a little misleading in the sense that when I click it says mobile notary appointment and this is some details. So it just tells me that a $100 non-refundable travel fee is required for all mobile notary appointments and is due at the booking. Okay, all right, so I can book this appointment, but there's no way to pay. You can cancel up to 2 hours before the appointment time. When booking the Notary Public, you may receive appointment-specific communication from third-party confirmations and whatnot. Okay, I'm gonna take a guess, and I've been right, Tiger. I've been right about this. We've talked to a number of notaries, and I will boldly make this statement. I'm getting ready to say it about this this website, and I want you guys to listen to me when I say this. I'm gonna make a bold statement right now, and I'm probably right. For the most part, every time I make the statement, Tiger is my witness. When we've done this with notaries that we've talked to all over the country, I will make this statement after reviewing their website, and I'm gonna make it right now. What is that statement? I'm gonna bet $1,000 that no one uses this website.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
How, Tech? How do you? What makes you say that? Listen, we can spend hours talking about this. It's the same thing like when an electrician has been practicing for 20 years, they can fix your problem without even they can just hear you talk about it and they already know what the problem is and what the solution is. They can fix it in like 4 minutes. I can look at this website and tell nobody. A person who's really absolutely looking for a notary appointment. I'm talking about the person, they got money in their hand, Tiger. They bringing it to your doorstep. They need you right now, which again, that's every notary appointment. Unless they say otherwise. Unless they explicitly say, this is not an urgent appointment. I have all the time in the world. I'm just kicking tires. I'm just looking around. I'm just shopping. I'm just looking. Unless they say that explicitly, every single notary appointment is a time-sensitive urgent appointment. And I'm telling you right now, because that's just the nature of notary. Mm-hmm. That's just the uniqueness of this industry. Everything is important. Yeah. Everything has to do with money. And time is money. I can guarantee $1,000 that nobody uses this website. If we were
even with the ads, you're saying?
Even with the ads. There's certain little triggers all throughout the website that give you indication that nobody uses it. And this is one of them. The booking policy. When you're going to ask for, when you're going to say you're going to use the word $100, first of all, you know about that $100 threshold, right? You the one who talk about that. The $100 threshold. Once you cross into that threshold and you use the word non-refundable travel fee, the question that's going to pop into your user's mind, whether you know it or not, again, you're a notary, you're probably not thinking of this like a customer, but you have to put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Absolutely.
You hear this word $100 non-refundable travel fee, that's probably going to trigger some resistance. And that's all they need to not hire you. After you've already spent money on the ad, they clicked on it, they looked at your website, they're getting ready to book, they're looking at some of the options, they have to put their address in, it's required, the city, the state. This is just a poorly done intake form, number one. And then this booking policy is just made up. And I can tell this is probably what's triggering. What probably happens is somebody's probably going to call him, and then they're probably going to talk to him, and then they're going to work out some deal where he arrives and then they pay for it. right? That's probably how he's running it. And it kind of sounds like I'm guessing, but I'm probably right. If I'm not right, I'm clearly one of the type of people who I'm open to being corrected. I have no problem being corrected, but I'm probably right in my prediction. So, what's left? We got the remote online notary. Let's click here. If it's the exact same thing, this is going to be a big problem. And look, it's the exact same thing. Exact same intake form. Same questions, no difference. What did it say $100 too? Yep, $100. It's talking about traveling when it's a remote online notary. See, it's stuff like that. It's the attention to detail. You want to charge premium rates, but then you don't pay attention or you don't care to make these little updates and changes.
Well, here's my thing with that, Tech. It says what you'll get penalized for, but it doesn't give you a price. To me, it's like, okay, if you're gonna hit me with a penalty of $100, that means off the rip, this notarization is gonna be more than $100. So now you got me in my own skin, in my own thoughts, rationalizing how much money this thing possibly will cost. And you don't want the customer guessing like that because their mind runs way off the cliff.
Yeah.
No hang glide, nothing. It just straight runs off the cliff. And it's like, oh, they're going to be like $300, $400, and you might only be $125. You just lost that customer right there. What was your, are you done with that site or you have a conclusion?
Yeah. So what's the conclusion? Pass or trash?
Mm-hmm.
The conclusion is trash.
Mm-hmm.
Sad trombone.
Yeah, you had to get it. You just had to get it, man.
Yeah. Let me say this at the very end. If we go back to the search results when we typed in Google, let me see if I can share that screen again.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I do want to point out. Can you see the screen and me sharing it?
Let me pull it up for you.
All right. So there's these site links underneath. Kind of speaking to the point that you were making earlier that if you're going to be running ads, then you should run to a single landing page. Let's click here. Let's click on rates, book an online notarization. Let's see where this takes us and see if those are just going to be,
Aye.
Oh.
Aye.
Denied.
Oh my God. You see what I mean, folks? You see what do you see what this is unrehearsed. We did not plan this. You see what I mean?
Monster kill.
For those of you guys who are listening and you're not watching this, it's a 404 error page. That means you just threw money down the toilet. Wasted money.
Wasted money.
Let me go click on book and notarization. So what we're looking for is just it's the same page. Same page. Yeah, you should never run ads to your main homepage. That's marketing. That's digital marketing and advertising 101. Never run ads to your homepage. Same page. Same page. So he's just wasting money. Yeah, so this is right. I felt bad giving him a trash, but now I don't.
All right, so let me ask you this, Tech. Give me 3 things that you would change on this guy that would, if you were consulting him, what would be 3 pieces of advice that can get him on the right course?
Number 1, I would start with less content on the page. You don't need that much work. A notary, for what it is, guys, listen to me when I say this. People who look for notary, they're not looking for groceries. What I mean by that is they're looking for something very specific. You don't need a ton of convincing material. You don't need less is more because they're only looking for one thing. And the question that they're asking them in their head is, when can you come out and do it? So I would tell them, cut down about 85% of the content that's on your page. Cut it down.
Okay.
Don't need it because I'm only looking for one thing. And can you do it? And clearly you can't do it. So that's number one. Number two, I would explain to him that the separate booking portal, me clicking on book now and then navigating away from the page, it actually does more. It doesn't accomplish what you think it probably accomplishes. What I mean by that is you lose a little bit of, in the age of vulnerability and cybersecurity and people just this digital world, people want to protect their identities, and somebody stealing your identity is the worst possible experience. I hope you never have to go through that. But when you switch platforms like that, jumping from one, especially when you're asking for credit card information, sensitive information, you're uploading, documents with your name on it. You're requiring people to email you things. You want to keep everything under one umbrella in-house as much as possibly can. And if you can do the payment, I would start there. So I would remove that separate booking portal from a different site and try to bring it in-house. That alone will increase the number of conversions, and you'll leak less money. That's number two.
Yeah.
And then number three.
Yeah.
Well, you said you asked for three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number three would be, I mean, there's just so many. Number three, I would probably tell him, choose an area to focus on. People who are looking for notary what I'm saying is, if you want to go apostle, even though apostle is not notary. I see why so many people are jumping on the bandwagon, but I would just pick one area. Pick real estate. If people are looking for a notary, they're going to find you. And if you have one primary focus, they're probably more likely to expect maybe real estate, estate planning, and then power of attorney. Those three, just have an area of focus instead of just doing everything across the board, and get rid of the chat bot. I don't know. I'll throw that in.
And I want to also add to that, bro, because we kind of talked about this last week. Pay attention to your data. Pay attention to your data. If you know in your market, you get more calls for affidavits than anything, run your ads for affidavits. If you're in the market and in a month's time, you realize that you do more power of attorneys than apostille and affidavits combined, the market is telling you you're a hot document. Take that data and run it to the ground till you're like getting no more of that document. Like you have to pay attention to your data. You're a business owner at this point. So Tech, thank you for that, bro. That was fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, pass or trash is in full effect. We're gonna go. Yeah. Let's do a quick break.
I thought I was doing well in my notary business. I was busy. My calendar was full. Money was coming in. But something felt off. Like I was working too hard for what I was earning. So I took the revenue leakage scorecard. It showed me exactly where money was slipping through my business, missed opportunities, weak follow-up, pricing gaps, and retention blind spots I didn't even realize I had. It didn't just give me a number, it gave me clarity. If you're serious about scaling and not just staying busy, you need to see where you really stand. This isn't a quiz, it's a diagnostic, and they only review 10 completed assessments per month. If you want to operate like a CEO and not just a technician, take the assessment now. Because in business, clarity changes everything.
All right, we back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so today's topic is the $10,000 notary trap. We're going to be covering something very interesting. Last week we covered the $5,000 notary problem. Today we're going to cover the $10,000 notary trap. Let's go into the comment section real quick before we go into the topic. Notary World said, "I just did 2 apostilles. Very easy money." Yeah, what it's easy when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Nicely done. Well done.
Notary World been killing it for a minute now.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I like how people. Can I say one thing about apostilles?
Yeah,
It's just funny because I think it's interesting that I love apostilles because it's not notary, but I think people are really. She said I have 5 that I have to do tomorrow. Fantastic.
that's crazy.
I would love to ask you how I love the insight. I'm like, how are you getting clients? I think that's important for people to hear. But one thing I was watching somebody explain apostilles. They were saying that the notary is an apostille is something that a notary has to authenticate a document, and I want to say that that's categorically incorrect. I understand where they're coming from, but that's categorically incorrect. It's not what an apostille is. Here's what an apostille is. I'm going to say this for the record. Here's the Secretary of State authenticates you, and then you authenticate the person who's signing the document. So the notary checks out the signer, and then the notary gets checked out by Secretary of State. That's what. So when you send that document over to some other country, you know their rules. They have their own rules. Our rules don't apply to their rules. They just want to make sure that the Secretary of State is what vouches for you. That's what the apostille certificate does. It has nothing to do with the document. The document is just, it can be a piece of paper. I've done an apostille. I kid you not. I've done an apostille. This was for Poland. I did an apostille for a lady who hand wrote. She literally took a piece of paper. She hand wrote it, and she gave somebody else in Poland like permission to make financial decisions for her. I looked at her. I said, I'm not going to ask any questions. I sent it up to Cam up in Sacramento, and she got it done. We attached a certificate to it. So I checked out the lady who signed the handwritten letter, and then the Secretary of State checked me. That's what made the document authentic. It's not the notary has nothing to do with the certificate being attached to it. That's Secretary of State. Secretary of State said they're vouching for you that you did your due diligence and you witnessed them signing it. That's what an apostille is. It has nothing to do with certifying or authenticating documents. I'm certifying and authenticating the person who signed it. And then the Secretary of State certifies and authenticates my ass. Right? So that I did my job. That's how it works.
Yeah, I've never done an apostille. I've commissioned other notaries to do it, but I personally have never done it.
Notary World, am I wrong? Tell her, make a comment. Am I wrong in that, or is that a fair assessment? I check out the signer, and the Secretary of State checks out my ass. That's how it works.
So Notary World said she gets it from Google My Business.
Organic. That's even better.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that, stay tuned for what I'm going to do with AI for notary badasses. This will definitely help increase your visibility with what we're going to talk about, which is just a, very good strategy to use, especially in today's time. But let's go into the $10,000 notary trap. So one of the things that notaries get wrong is that they believe that busy equals profitability tech. They believe the busier they get, the more money that they actually make. But the stats do not show that. being busy does not equal profitable. Why? Because let's say you have 5 to 8 signings per week. Many notaries have random pricing. Depending on how they feel, did they have their coffee that morning? Did they have a latte? You know, the prices can range anywhere from $50, $75 to $125. There is
Man, you're
lot
going
of
too high. Most notaries are like in the $30 range. You're going too high.
all right, yes. It's very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Also, with the constant driving, like, shout out to you, Notary World. You're running 5 appointments tomorrow. My tap out was 3.
Well,
I'm
she said it
doing
was 5 apostilles, so I don't know if it's 5 separate appointments. She might be doing one appointment with 5 together. Who knows?
shout out to you if you're doing 5 separate appointments in one day. Me, I'll be on a quad espresso and a can of Red Bull just to knock those out. After 3 appointments, I'm out. I'm done. And I knew I was losing money because there was like other appointments that needed to get done. That's before I got into the agency mode. But you're constantly driving. So that does put a handcuff on to how much money that you can make. Your phone rings nonstop. As a human, we can only answer and talk to one person at a time. And then you have no system, just pure hustle. That's when you just like out here and you're like, yo, I'm getting it. And it you know, Tech, we've been lied to for so long that to believe that hustle and grind is admirable. You know, do you notice that our culture is the only culture that like really promotes just busting your ass?
Yeah.
I don't see that with Asians. I don't see that in the European market. I don't see that in Middle Eastern market where like just bust your ass, dude. Just work 12, 15 hours a day. Just grind. But us,
it makes it about personal. Like it puts it back on you. Like, oh, you're not working hard enough.
yeah,
You need to work harder.
that's exactly right. The hustle and grind shame. We like we're intellectuals. That's what makes us different from animals in the wild, yo. Them niggas need to grind.
Yeah.
A lion and a tiger cannot eat unless it grinds and it hustles for that food. God has blessed us with a brain, a sophisticated mechanism that have created AI. We're not designed to grind like that. You know what happens when you grind too much? You grind it into a dust. It becomes dust.
Like a machine. A machine, eventually the parts wear down. You know, it needs to be fixed and maintained. There's an author, his name is Zoe Williamson. He has a book, he calls it Toxic Ambition, where people are just so ambitious that to the point where it's detrimental to their health.
Wow.
Their relationships. So
Toxic Ambition. That's an incredible title for something like that.
Yeah, the name of the book is called The Relationship Dismount. It's a great book, great title, but he's a therapist and he talks about that concept of toxic ambition. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm passionate about the busy doesn't equal profitabilities because I've been on both ends of the spectrum and I've grinded like 10, 15 hours a day. And then there are times that I only work 3 hours a day. And when you see the difference, when you have experienced the difference where you made damn near 100 times more working less hours, than what you did working 15 hours, it changes your life forever. Forever. So I know that industrial age type of thinking that Henry Ford came up with, that people need to be working 8 hours a day, or how they trap you with a salary in order for you not to think outside the box. And I get it. I understand it. I studied it. It is a trap.
Yeah, in this age, in this era that we're living in, this ain't 1970, man. This ain't 1960s. This is 2026. That was 50, 60 years ago. Like the way that people, the era in which that environment, like that doesn't exist anymore. Where all you have to do was work your way up the ladder, and then you would have a decent life, and you would be able to provide for yourself and your family, and you could, have a leisure time and vacation and live the American life. Like that doesn't exist anymore, not in today's era.
Well, they're keeping that in structure though, right? Because COVID opened a lot of people's eyes, and they were like, wait a minute, I don't have to be in the office for 8-10 hours. But they're enforcing that everybody has to come back to the office now. So they're reinforcing that you have to come back in and do all of this stuff. But it has changed so much, because now with AI, you guys are seeing massive layoffs. See, people talk about AI, but they don't talk about the other thing that's attached to the AI, and that's called robotics. AI and robotics, that is what's going to annihilate a lot of jobs, but it's also going to create a whole bunch of new jobs. So just keep that in mind. So let's talk about where the money is actually leaking, Tech. The money is actually leaking. Of course, if you guys should know, if you miss one phone call, you miss the opportunity. That goes without saying. Missed calls equals missed bookings. The next one will be no pricing power. Your pricing are fluctuating way too much. One thing that I used to like about PayPal, and I'm not a big fan of PayPal, they would let me know what my average cost per sale was. And I love that feature because I can always measure if my pricing is fluctuating too much. So if I would do 30 deals that month, it would say, all right, your average cost per sale is about $129. And I can benchmark that and say, I will not go lower than 129. Now my goal is, as a business owner, is to get it to my average cost per sale is to be at $150. I love that benchmark. You guys should have a benchmark and know exactly what your average cost per sale. Tally it up. You guys got calculators, pen and paper if you archaic with it, and see what your average cost per sale is, and then strive to increase that, and still give your customer a 5-star experience. Tech, you want to say anything about that?
No, that's a great point, because I don't know if many people will do that. They absolutely should. I will tell you this, very, very early on, I actually had a spreadsheet, a Google Drive or Google Sheets, where I literally broke it down day by day, hour by hour, what type of appointment I went on, what did I charge them. And after you do, like, you're not gonna, if you try to memorize this, what did I do on Monday? How much did they pay me? What was on Tuesday? It's different when you physically write it down and you get a visual, you can see it in chart form. And I did that early on, and I clearly saw that Wednesday and Tuesday between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock were my most profitable days, most profitable time. So you would not realize that if you had just kind of winged it. You have to write these things down. and figure out, and you'll see a pattern. You'll be able to see it.
Absolutely. The next one is no automation. Again, the notary business has a very tricky way of creating owner dependency, where this machine will not move unless you hit the push start. This machine will not continue to move if you do not hit the accelerator. It is completely dependent on you, like a car, like an older car. Now they're cyber cabs, completely autonomous, running by itself, doesn't need a driver. Heck, actually, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, they have finalized the first cyber cab. If you guys don't know about that, that's Elon Musk rolling out an autonomous self-driving vehicle. Now, this car has no steering wheel. You can't drive it even if you wanted to. That means this vehicle will be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For people that wanted to get into, owning a fleet of cars, hello, there's going to be a possibility for you to integrate it with Uber. That is money on automation. Your notary business should be moving on automation. It should not stop just because you want to take a shower. Am I right or wrong, Tech? Like,
No, absolutely right.
How many notaries businesses stop the moment they stop taking a phone call?
All of them, most of them, not all of them, but most of them.
That is a ceiling. You've created your own ceiling in your own business at that point because you have no automation. Yeah. Next one would be no follow-up. So you lose repeat clients. You're not checking in. There's no St. Patrick's Day promotion going out. You're just nothing. You're not at top of mind. You're just waiting for them to call you instead of you just sending a simple, hey, just thinking about you. Here's a St. Patty's Day $10 off your next travel notary service. Just throw it out there. Hey, you don't have to keep it. Send it to a friend. You got to get creative with this business, man. Ain't that the whole reason why you became self-employed? To make money on your own terms? And then the last one is positioning. This one may take, a little bit more. We may have to do a show just on positioning because there are notaries out there that have positioned themselves to look very cheap, to look like a no frills brand, to look like, instead of getting Rice Krispies, they're crispy rice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. You go to them stores and you get one of them. Hey, that's not Captain Crunch. That's Gizmo Crunch. You know what I mean? Like it looks no frills, but then you're asking for Gucci, Louis Vuitton prices. That's not where the positioning is so important. The positioning, I would even say that it conditions your customer to expect to spend a premium with you, because it's in your positioning that you tell your customer, you create a story, you create a narrative, you create a situation, you create a buyer's environment so they know how to do business with you. Tech, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest blind spots that notaries may not even realize that we have the feature, the heat-seeking missile, which is great because the stats support that 35 to 50% of the businesses that respond first are the ones who get the business, and half of the business is just handled over the phone. So 50% of all business takes place over the phone, and then 35 to 50% of that business goes to the person or the company that responds first. So automation plus the missed calls, listen, you're leaking money all over the place if you're not even implementing some of those strategies. Just point blank period. You don't even realize how bad it is until you actually do an audit and you can quantify all these missed opportunities. It's very terrifying, but it's good that you have a solution and you don't have to just suffer through it. I know that when we implemented these strategies in our own businesses, completely changed the game. And once it's like the Wizard of Oz. You look behind the curtain, you can't go back.
Yeah. Great analogy. That's one of my favorite movies too.
Yeah.
That's very true. One thing that we can say with honest confidence, I have 8 years in the business. Tech, how many years do you have in there?
6.
Right. So that's a total of 14 years or 13 years or something like that. And that is combined into, like, it's been forged. We've went through a lot of trial and error within that time. So the fact that there is a software that we have created that has been incubated out of those trials gives the software a lot of depth perception. It can see things before they happen. And then the AI, adding the AI to it is just a cherry on top. But Tech and I, pouring our knowledge and understanding consumer behavior in this specific industry, not a bunch of industries. Sabrina wasn't made, with, all these other industries in mind. It was made specifically for notaries. If you see what she does, and by the way, we're on Sabrina Geo right now. Geo. Sabrina Geo is like the latest version of Sabrina right now. If you can see what she does, we have members currently that have seen the best year of their notary career, and we're only in March.
Yeah, I mean, I just had to drop off just for a second because I have a notary appointment going through right now, and those guys, outside. So I just wanted to call the client. But again, the automation, the way you operate your business today. Yep, and he just sent me a message. He got in. The way you operate today can't be how you operated 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It can't.
No. That means they would be operating pre-COVID.
Yeah, and that changed the entire landscape.
For sure.
It accelerated a lot of different, especially the solopreneur, the one man, one woman operation, which is what a lot of notaries do. You have to implement these strategies. How are you going to survive? How are you going to compete with somebody who uses automation? How are you going to compete with me and I send confirmation emails and courtesy reminders, text, SMS, and you don't even have to talk to me. You go to the website. There's no confusion. You put your payment in. You get exactly what you're looking for. And then I don't even answer the phone. I'm sitting here on the video talking to Tiger, doing a show for the notary industry. Got my son in my hand, and I'm getting phone calls. And then Sabrina is just engaging with them back and forth as if it were me. Like, how are you going to compete with that? I don't have to do all the legwork that a notary who's not using automation and not using AI technology has to do. A notary who's not using AI technology and automation, you have to physically respond to each person who contacts you, and you better do it quick. You better do it within 7 minutes. You better be there. And if they, God forbid, they call you, you're not going to answer it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got 7 seconds to convince that person to book you, hire you.
And here's the thing, right? Like we're talking about the $10,000 notary trap. Will everybody hit $10,000 a month in their notary? No. Is there people that can hit beyond $10,000 in their notary business? Absolutely. So the possibility is there of you really making a significant amount of income, but you have to keep in mind that this game is about leverage, y'all. How can you leverage something that is finite, which is time? You can't get any more time back. So what tech is saying is that what I can do in 24 hours, I can run circles around a person that is doing all of that stuff manually.
Can't compete. No comparison.
None. If you can only answer one phone call at a time, and each phone call is about 5 or 10 minutes, but then you have an automation infrastructure that can answer 5 phone calls at the same time in those same 5 minutes, you're not at the Grammys, fam.
How you gonna compete with that?
You're at the preschool everybody gets a trophy convention. Even the kid that eats paste, you're competing with that kid. So if you want to play in an elite level, there's some things that you have to change, and you can't be scared to make those changes. And once you get into your comfort zone, in this day and age, you're actually, taking steps backwards at that point. But any last words about this topic, Tech, before we go into AI for badass notaries?
Nope. Let's go, man. I would say this: it's not even just like we did the passive trash. Look around in your area, see who you are actually competing against. It's not that easy to take over the entire city. You'd be surprised just how little effort that those people are putting in. And I think the industry has gotten this bad reputation of people who are just so relaxed and so informal, right? Just somebody who does this as a favor. It should be taken, because of what it is, the nature of what it is, it should be much higher on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, AI for badass notaries.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress of managing calls yourself, giving you more time to focus on your work, clients, and everything else life throws your way.
Scan the QR code for a free demo.
Coming up next is AI Strategies for Badass Notaries with Tiger Toledo on the Notary Insights show.
So this is what it is. This is real simple, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can actually do this today. There's been a bit of a change with the algorithms that are going on. We all are familiar with SEO, and having AI has made that very easy for us to get information on that. Now, there are 2 new things that popped up. It's called AEO and GEO.
What is that?
So the AEO means that it's artificial intelligence search engine, basically. People are using Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, and what's happening is that they're using those platforms to search for these businesses. Tech, you've actually experienced this. A
Yeah,
customer
actually,
was looking for a
power of
notary,
attorney.
a power of attorney, and that lead came from ChatGPT.
Absolutely. Yep. And how do I know that? I confirmed it because Sabrina does a great job of telling you where the lead, what is the source of the lead, and so you can see exactly how they found you, and that's important, man. That data is so
Yeah.
crucial.
So what I want you guys to do next time you open up your whatever artificial intelligence platform that you use, ask the AI to create you content so you can score higher with a AEO, GEO. GEO is a geographical engine optimization. So so that will be like for Google Maps and stuff. But here's what you do. Here's the strategy and here's the sauce to it. If you control your website, if you can just create a landing page or whatever, this page technically does not have to be visible, but I would make it, just in case somebody does click on it, it appears to look good. Add the content to that page. Whatever ChatGPT, that's my favorite, so I'm just gonna say ChatGPT. Whatever ChatGPT tells you, this will help you in your ranking for AEGO. I'm sorry, AEO and GEO. That's the content that you put on a designated page just by itself. That is going to help you with artificial intelligence search engines. Because what's happening is, just to give you a little more context on how consumer behavior is changing and being reshaped. When you would use Google, Google had a blank page, it had a search bar, you would type in what you wanted, Google would just pull it up with all the index. Currently, people are already using ChatGPT, Claude, and the rest of these guys. So they're already on this platform. So when something pops up, they say, you know what? That's right. I need to get a power of attorney done. ChatGPT, find me a power of attorney in Chicago, Illinois. They are already using the platform, so they're not jumping over to Google like they used to anymore.
Wow.
So Google is actually losing traction as we speak as being the number one search engine. They got competition now. So keep that in mind. Consumers are using AI, and the ones that are using AI, they're also using it as a search engine. You want to make sure that your notary business ranks high for artificial intelligence engine optimization, AEO. Tell it, go into your search engine, tell it to create some content for you to rank high for AEO and then GEO, and then put it on its own page, and you should be good. Any final thoughts on that, Tech?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of any way that you can drive traffic to your notary website, do it. But you got to think about it. What is the person, the client, doing once they arrive to the website? Just like we went over in Pass the Trash, you can drive as much traffic as you can to the notary website. They should not be there to do window shopping. The person who needs a notary, they behave in a very particular way. It's not like they're shopping around for who has the best deal on tires. The person who's needing a notary, they're solving a very particular issue that they have. So if you're going to put all this effort and energy into driving people to your website, at least go the extra step and to make sure that their experience is top tier, premier, A1, and install infrastructure that's going to at least allow them to accomplish what they came here. Otherwise, they'll never go back to your website ever again because of the bad experience they had. Websites don't work. They're getting 404 errors. They click on the book appointment and it takes them to some weird software, you know, that all plays a part into whether or not you lose $10,000 a month without even knowing it.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for today. We do recommend this season 2 is really about you guys. If you have a topic that you would like us to cover, send your topic to info@tigertoledo.com. That's info@tigertoledo.com. We're doing the show based on the comments, and Pass or Trash is one of those. The other one was AI for Badass Notaries. So we're listening to you guys. Keep the feedback coming in. We love it. We read all of it, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace. You know what's wild? The biggest threat to a notary business isn't competition, it's missed calls. While you're driving, while you're notarizing, while you're living, revenue is ringing and no one's there to answer. That's why we built Sabrina AI. Not another app, not another chatbot. A trained AI phone receptionist engineered specifically for notaries. She answers your business line instantly, qualifies the caller, schedules the appointment, handles the follow-up, all while you stay focused on closing deals. The smartest operators aren't working harder, they're building systems. And when a client calls a Sabrina-powered notary, it feels structured, it feels premium, it feels inevitable. Right now, most notaries are still doing this manually. The ones booking demos, they're building leverage. If you're serious about running your notary business like a CEO, not an operator, book the demo. Watch Sabrina answer a live call and decide for yourself whether you want to chase income or have it captured automatically.